Volskaya Foundry, game number 1. Go next against the Stinky Sweaters, everybody. It's party time. So we got another best of 3 in the lower bracket. And that could be an interesting one. So go next. They had a pretty bad draft in the... Well, they had a pretty bad match that they had to play in the winner bracket, and they got a bit murdered there. Same as I suppose to an extent true for the Stinky Sweaters, who went up against Team Arthurs in one of the earlier rounds, but they made it up to this point in the losers bracket now. So good for them. Now that we're heading into the first map of the best of 3 series, this is still the Rive Cup, so there is in total 2,000 euros on the line. And it should be an interesting one between the two of them. I would say if you want to put a favorite in, it's probably Go Next. They made it a bit deeper into the winner bracket and they just performed pretty well there too. But we've seen some really nice players on the side of the Sweaters, of course, and therefore they could still turn that one around. Personally, 3-mapper would go a long way right now, and time will tell. But as you can see, we got our Sonya already. We have the Uther locked in right away as a ban. Medivh, I mean, you really want to get rid of him. We've seen in the games before what happens if you think you can get away with not banning Medivh. Either you have a really good combo against him, or you just face the consequences, and there it is. That said, they are first pick. So they actually ban out Medivh despite the fact that they're first pick. So they're not valuing him enough to take him in a first pick position. And now that Chromie is banned, there's the Insta Stukov lock. Yeah, and immediately what are we thinking about? Exactly. Varian and Abathar as 2 potential picks that they could use here now. Volskaya Foundry, team fights, super important of course. And they are really slow on the first pick. Alright, Anubarak gets claimed and we got Cassia. So if you still want to go for that sniper composition, go next, then Varian would be the one to pick now, as Anubarak is already taken. But that is engaged potential on both sides, and Anubarak, of course, has now also the chance to drop the cocoon whenever one of those combos is about to pop off. Gotta make sure that you get at least a proper cooldown trade, but still. So, Volskaya Foundry, and go next with Zul and Varian. There he is. Okay. Yeah. Varian most of the side laner now for them. Zul can rotate around here. But here we go. That's going to be the moment where you also want to draft your damage, of course. Blue team still needs something to follow up on the taunt. Whereas on the other side, you kind of want to deal with it somehow. So let's see what they have in store for Varian and Stukov as a comp. Outside of Anubarak and Cocoon plus an Interrupt. First we get the ban on Tigers. Could be a triple frontline that they're thinking about here. Don't want to go up against the minigun. And ban for the red team for the first game. Still a best of 3 series, by the way. I don't know if I already pointed that out or not. And since we are in the losers bracket, if you lose here, you are out of the tournament. So no chance anymore to make it into those late rounds and maybe even head to the grand final through the lower bracket. But yeah, there's the ban, and it's Ana. Okay, no Ana in this one. And yep. With the Ana ban already in, means we're not going to get a Nano boost there either. Also no setups for Anubarak. I mean, if a sleep dart hits, for example, doesn't matter if you have a stun tank at the front, he's going to take that chance. And it's going to follow up on that right away. We've seen actually a lot of those plays. Even with the Rexa that just had Misha around. I mean, the Hardos the other day played with the Jaina, for example. Was it Hardos? I think it was them. And they just crushed with that Ana sleep dart into 2 stuns and then the big damage from Jaina. But now, Kelvin on my F, after we've just seen Deathwing and Leo picked, so there is the triple frontline. Also one of the reasons why Tigers gets banned is, of course, a Deathwing pick. And Volskaya. The only thing that's left is a support for them, and there's still plenty of good supports out. Stukov has already been taken. If you're going to go Brightwing, go Brightwing. You can go Lucio. There's a lot of stuff that you can still lock in here. The old man. Greymane, on the other hand, though. Yep, so they're going to go for Greymane at this point. And with that, everybody, we are headed into our last pick in this lineup. And it is... I'm a little bit worried because they are just running the timer down this hard, and that can mean a lot of things. Sometimes they're just a bit lazy to lock it in and they're discussing other stuff already for the game, but sometimes it really means that they're not sure what to take here. We get the Anduin pick though, and against Varian that's a good choice. It's a really good choice. You can play a lot around the trade and try to save the targets here. So Anduin against Varian, we get the family battle once again. World Sky Foundry, game number 1, the Heroes of the Storm series. Let's just jump in and check out which team takes the lead here. Go next against the Stinky Sweaters. On the left side, Kelvin with Maiev, Skynox with a low blow on Stukov. As is level 1, we have Starzerk on Greymane, Blade on Varian, and Wit is playing Zul in the first game of this series. Yeah, it's time to party, and it's time to party hard. The team on the right side with Hireth on Deathwing, Dracula on Cassia, Dark Dorita on Anduin, Sven on Leoric, and Camembert is playing a Nubarak in game number 1. So let's set this up and see what they can pull off here. The red team, we're gonna keep our eye a bit on them. I guess the pressure is more so on them than on Go Next. Go Next, if we would have to name a favorite, they're probably it. And here we go. First few stacks coming. It's great map for Cassia. This is a map if the teams are really both committing to the objective, then you normally have a lot of fights where Cassia can stack, and even that brawl in the middle is of course something where she can get some extras in. Anduin goes down first, so he's eliminated. Cassia got some connects here at least. Tries for another one, but Anduin is the first one to fall. And up at the top, that's where we'll go our rotation. Now at the 1 minute mark, that's when the first turret camps are spawning. And of course also the healing camp, so that's normally when you see the team start to rotate over and try to take the early items, so that they have them ready and get a potential second one for the first objective. Our 1 versus 1 lane has been set up between Zul and Leo. Yeah, and Greymane is already on it. So that's exactly what we're getting here. Starzer comes in, chomp, chomp, chomp. And so far, the red team is a bit late on the rotation. I'm a bit surprised. Again, you want to lock the camp in as soon as you can, so that you have, during objective number 1, a second camp spawning. And they are extremely late on that. And the blue team is now rotating to the top and says, well, we are going to go for the healing beacon. So either they contest and they're even later on the turret, but they're doing none of it. They are just being stuck between the top camp and the bot camp. This is a pretty bad start, tactically speaking, for the Stinky Sweaters. They are very late on this one, and they're already behind in items. So now they're up against a turret and a healing beacon, and they take this one with nearly a minute delay. That is pretty nuts. And you'll see now, when the objective spawns and the teams are thinking about going for the Protector, that Starzerk and his boys, they're going to be able to get a second turret, and the Stinky Sweaters won't be able to do anything about it. So that's a bit rough now. That could be a big problem as we're heading into objective number 1, and then of course potentially also the first wall and fort. Blade has his level 4 at least, so now with the taunt he can start to be a little bit nasty here. Yeah, it's actually kind of cool that you can't taunt Deathwing. Honestly, that is pretty awesome. Was kümmert es den stolzen Drachen, wenn sich das Borstenvieh an ihr reibt? Exactly. Replace that with Deutsche Eiche and you got something. Alright. So, a little bit of German folklore there for you. You learned something today. But yeah, Deathwing is just too majestic, you know? Like, he doesn't care. Like, Varian doesn't count for him. If Varian taunts Deathwing, Deathwing just doesn't care. I mean, why would I care? You are like a small pleb, you're beneath me. I'm not reacting to you at all. They are definitely reacting to Leo, and that's the trade value activated immediately. So, a little bit of trade. Now, off we go with our level 7 talent kicking in for the blue team. And, as you can see here, 30 seconds on this camp. And over here, still a minute and 10. So, big difference between the two and the potential second turret that they can take. With the level 7 talents, we're also getting, of course, the Growing Infestation, and we got the Wizened Duelist in. The blue team taking a significant lead on the checkpoint. And Blade is still zoning this out, slowing them down even further, as you can tell. The engage build for Nubara continues with the Subterranean Shield on level 7 after he went into Underking on level 4. And they're chasing Starzerk off, but as long as Greymane doesn't fall, they're going to be alright here. There's a bit of a slow, though, but he dodges out on the stun. Nice. And now at the bot lane, they could technically even try to set something up with Maiev and tether them in. But you can already see that Zul is pushing the top lane out. And they are having some tough times reacting to that. Deathwing arrives, but he arrives late. And it really pulls them away a little bit, as Stukov is going for the next turret, as already mentioned. So they're going to take the lead on that. And it's a couple of really neat and small moves that we're seeing from Go Next, but honestly, it all adds up. A bit of damage here, a bit of damage there, slowing them down on the rotation. And there we go. So, yeah, 2 kills to 0. And we're getting closer to level 10, which honestly worries me a little bit, because Go Next could technically try and get the Protector plus a push. And you see, this is what happens when you're falling behind on items. All of a sudden, your opponent can move in, use the item advantage that they have, and try to go for play. The problem for the blue team is that Blade gets caught, and the heal! He's actually still alive. What? And Sven is about to fall. Oh, that's just bad luck. They nearly get a kill against Varian, and then that's happening. Oh, right. There's the Protector. And as I said, you look at the experience, and now they go at level 10 with that. And Zul, in the entire time, he was already pushing the top lane out. So now they're rotating, of course, with the Protector down to the bottom of the map. Because what are you going to try and do at the top lane? The normal goal is to take the fountain down, and they've already done that. So, kind of crazy. Yep. Bot lane, there we are. 15 stacks, by the way, for Cassia. She can stack a bit easier now against the Protector down here. That's going to try and do that. The Protector's not really going to do a whole lot, but they're still using 3 heroes to try and deal with it. And in the meantime, you have Greymane and also Zul at the top. Try to hit the bullet here against Deathwing, which didn't quite work out. The big gank up on Kelvin. Drops the healing beacon. Already anticipates that he's going to fall. But of course, at the bot side, we still see some damage coming in from the Protector as it moves in for the damage. Trying to take another one of those fountains down, which hasn't really worked this far. But 3 kills against 1, and of course, the structural position is still pretty clear here. Alright, Light Bomb is in, the Cocoon as well, and that would be a big kill. Skynox goes down, nice, can he get another one? Blade is able to escape, but that was some good moves from Stinky Sweaters. They are definitely suffering with the Zul rotation. They have some trouble keeping tabs on that, but they are doing pretty well on those kills. Spray game is also on point, I like that. And of course, they have a bit of an upper hand since the support is down on the other side. And they're now moving straight in for the fort at the top. 80,000, look at the siege damage. Check that siege damage out from Zul. 80,000 already. But they're starting to lose heroes. The problem is still very, very familiar. Zul is pushing the bot lane again. Rest of the team interrupts and slows down rotations. So the fountain down here might be in trouble too. Actually, is that thing going to fall? Yes! And it's down. And fountains are one of the most important things on this map, because since you are trying to get the checkpoint in the middle, you want to have that option to retreat, tap the fountain, and then re-engage into the fight. So that's one of the big issues that you have to go deal with once that the fountain is out. I love how he ran up here. It's just not giving a shit. And it's just dropping sprays the entire time. It's looking at Varian with his taunt and like saying, dude, you got nothing. You got absolutely nothing. No matter what you say, I am not impressed. Now, Cassia, she's the one that needs to bring in the damage for the late game. We got 13 in. That's already the violent reaction. Okay. And at the bottom right, another item has been claimed. So now we have actually 3 for the Stinky Sweaters. Yeah, there's the Entomb again. The Entombs are on point. I like them. But also, the escape, as Blade says, yeah, it's still fine. Greymane gets cocooned though, but Zul, again, it's a 4-man pretty much. Blue team plays a 4-man. Zul is just rotating. Zul is playing his own game. He's just rotating from lane to lane, doing his thing, and they are trying to get some kills every now and then. And in this case, they get the one against the Nubarak, so he's down. Zul is now starting to join the fight, and that's something that they weren't even prepared for. So Cassia is about to go down. Dracula might escape, but nope, they get the kill. Drop the item. But Zul is just moving lanes. Keep the pressure. Take one minion wave after another. And if the Stinky Sweaters react to it, then eventually they're going to lose out. And just look at these snappy decisions here. Jumping behind the fort, getting another quick kill in. And that's bam. An insta drop on the fort at the bottom of the map. First one to fall here, and they are aggressively rotating around. Zul has already taken to the next camp and is locking this one in too. Scythe build, fully spec'd into it, even on the 13 now with a rapid harvest, and they are crushing on the macro level. It's a huge problem for the Stinky Sweaters to react to this. And Zul is again down at the bottom, over here, snappy attempts to get a kill with Greymane in particular. You set it up with Varian and the taunt, you follow up with a bullet, and of course, the play around Stukov. And Zul is just rotating from one lane to another as the blue team is now 1 level ahead, 6 kills to 3. And Zul is still at the bottom. He's starting to push the keep. They are 5 manning the top, and Zul is just saying, guys, if you start to take those fights, I'm gonna go bot lane. Now, do they get the kills here? Yes, they do. Varian is down, and so is Stukov. They might even get Kelvin. 1 down, 2 down, 3 down, and yeah, that one was a neat one. Do they get the kill against Greymane? They could, but Starzer gets out. But the bottom wall has been opened up completely. So the bottom wall is absolutely open, and that's kind of worth it. Again, in structures, they're way ahead now. Now the red team can at least open some of the top towers up, but 16 talents are now available for both of them, and with the Nubarak diving in and spawning a couple of beetles, they have a chance to take the fort down, so that's good for them. But the Zul push is just crazy. Yeah, that's the move for the fort. Losing that many heroes obviously has consequences. So that kill setup that we saw top side, that was definitely... it was a bit of a step back for Go Next. Now, the objective has still not been taken by either one of the teams, and Zul is still doing the same thing. And he has started to threaten that keep. The keep is already down by quite a few HP, and Sven now has to rotate back down. And Zul is going to try and slow him down a little bit. Yeah, see Sven, bit more damage onto the keep, and as time continues, that thing is going to fall if nobody pays attention to it. They have to keep someone at the bot lane to push this out even further. But Zul can now start to come in with the rest of the team and is trying to do exactly that. The first one to fall is Maiev though, 5 versus 4, and Go Next is losing it. Good cocoon on Greymane. That eliminated the damage. He's the main, if not the only damage dealer. Okay, Ult on Deathwing is also pushing the back. Skynox gets stunned out, and Stukov dies. Yeah, Zul has, of course, already started to go to the bot lane again. Sven is at the top. He's trying to do his thing. He's trying to help out here. They kill Varian, but guess what? Down at the bottom of the map, Wit is pushing it once more. And he's just simply moving in. He drops the turret and says, like, guys, that keep is mine. That keep is mine. You're not going to keep it. Well, he could have inted for it and taken it, but I guess now they can defend. Alright, not quite the int that I expected. I expected we to be a little bit more decisive about it, saying like I'm gonna die for a good cause here. But no, instead we have Sven trying to chase him, which didn't really work out. What's the siege damage on Zul? Zul is at 168,000. 168k. But the tides of the battle are changing a little bit, because now Varian is getting, Anduin is getting the protector for the team at the top. We're on level 18 already, and it's 6 kills to 10. And Nubarak is helping out with it. And guess where Zul is? He's again at the bot lane. Taking the wave down. It's the only one that hasn't died yet. And yeah, if they can take Svenja, that would be nasty. Pretty much Leo is on Zul watch. That's the one thing that he's supposed to do right now. You're just gonna keep tabs of Zul, but guess what? They're jumping down with Blade now, so all of a sudden there's 2 at the bottom of the map. Yeah, okay. Get the skeleton mages in. Deathwing is now coming in too, realizing that they need to do a little bit more around that. There's the Entomb, nice. And he immediately starting to slice again. They're trying to make a play for Leo. Rest of the red team is coming to the top now too, but they could even escape here. And their defense, of course, in the mid lane, that one is still going strong. They're going 3-man against the Protector. Zul has finally fallen. That's the first time. Varian can escape. At the top, they go for the cage. Into the silence. And that's a kill and an item. They steal the item, they take Cassia down. Here comes the engage from the side with the taunt against Camembert, but he gets zipped back out by Anduin. What a setup! Stinky Sweaters with 11 kills to 8 as Leo falls. They try to go for Deathwing here. Might have to drop the healing beacon though. Nope, Kelvin still holds it. And they're taking another one of these towers down. It's a pretty crazy setup. Very different strategies from the two teams here. And Go Next heavily focusing on that side lane pushing with Zul. And it's working wonders for them. Now, they still pressure that bottom keep. And let's not forget that the next objective spawns at the bottom of the map. So that's where we're going to see the next protector very likely take position. And yeah, that thing is so insanely low right now. They have to have multiple heroes at the bot lane now to defend this. And that pressure, of course, is a big, big thorn in their side, as they can't really move as aggressively out onto the map as they would like to. But with level 20 talents, we have some insane upgrades coming for the Stinky Sweaters. First of all, Glyph of Faith is crazy good for Varian. Against the taunt of Varian. And on top of that, we now got the Buried Alive and the Rewind. Yeah, and especially here, if you hit a good Buried Alive, you can just party. Varian is already down. Item got dropped too. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's a huge problem, especially with the Cocoon in the back. Stukov, he is very likely going to fall here. And Entomb is not... well, there's dropped. And that's the kill, and they get Greymane on top of it too. So despite the fact that they've been dominating the lane push, right now the Stinky Sweaters are the ones who make the plays. Zul is now pushing the middle, and they want to go for keep at the top. I think he should probably try to get the keep at the bottom. Because their top keep is going to fall. The only question is, can they end the game, yes or no? That's the big question. But if Zul at least is able to get the keep at the bot lane, if the red team cannot end, then it's keep for keep. But he has to Hearthstone back and help to defend here. Yeah, they're too fast. They're too fast by taking this one down. And that's, of course, the attempt now from the Stinky Sweaters to end the game. They're going for it. They're making the play here. Yeah, if they can get the kill against Zul, that would be the first step into the right direction. And there it is. Follow up against Kelvin, and it's theirs. Even like this, they might just win it. Varian is back in 2 seconds, but this is the shield gone. Here comes the play. 8 kills to 15. Seems like Maiev is gonna fall. No, she just simply gets Cocoon. Don't have to kill her if you just Cocoon her. And that core is not gonna make it. At least it shouldn't. I mean, it's down to 50. They kill Cassia though. They kill Cassia. They might defend. They are going to defend. Greymane is... Guys, Greymane is dead. Varian can't hit for shit. That guy is just throwing light around. It's a 5-man wipe on the core. And the bottom keep has fallen. What? No. Oh my god. They gotta keep... They can't just go down to the bottom of the map now. Are they just crossing the map? Zul is dead. They need to get Greymane on the core if they really want to end the game here. It's 26 seconds for Leo to be back. But he spawns up here at the top. Can still Hearthstone, of course. I can't believe that they couldn't get it. It looked so good for them. And now here comes the play. 13 to 15, everybody. And they're chunking it down. Greymane is too strong on the core. The rest of the team is there. Go Next with the lead in this best of 3 Heroes of the Storm series as they lock in the victory in Volskaya Foundry. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Game number 2, Battlefield of Eternity. We got the 1-0 after the core move that we had a second ago. So, yeah, well done. And of course, now the question if the Stinky Sweaters can win this one. It looked for a long time like they could take the core down. I'm not gonna lie, that looked really good for them, and then they just lost Deathwing, they lost Cassia a little bit too quickly, and now we're heading into Battlefield of Eternity, our second map, with the chance that the Sweaters are getting dropped out of the tournament over here. So the quick ban over on Medivh is the first thing that happens. And what else are we gonna see? Because, I mean, I really like that Zul setup that we had from the blue team. Honestly, it put so much pressure on the lanes, on Stinky Sweaters, that if not for those teamfight victories that they had, they would have lost that game for sure. It seems like when Go Next wants to play, they really need to just keep Zul on those side lanes, but in the format they need to be a bit more careful than they were. They engaged into a few too many fights, and I suppose the problem was that Leo locked them down pretty heavily. So there's that. But again, it was a pretty cool style to see and not what we normally have, and Zul was a huge issue for them. So again, either way, we got the quick lock on Hanzo, so no Hanzo damage against the Immortal. And, well, in comes the last ban. Medivh is out. Uther is out. Do you want to ban something? Could ban Chromie again. She's super, super annoying. I would probably ban Chromie, honestly. Battlefield of Eternity, like, she's just a pain on any map. But over here, she has a safe distance to attack the Immortal. There she is. Okay, Chromie gets banned. Now, of course, the question, what do you lock in as your first pick? Are you trying to go for one of...
My blades are yours.
Okay, okay, Sven, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's like... Mr. One-Trick Pony Sven locks in Sonya. Bam, like this. Do you guys want something else like than Sonya? Okay, I'm just asking. Let's like, calm down. And here's the setup. Anubarak is in, and we get Stukov together with it. So a similar approach again as they're trying to come through with the stun into the silence. Good for them. Yeah, stun into silence. Again, Stukov is just insane with that. You need a good damage dealer with it. You could go Li Ming here. Could try and get that damage out with her. Greymane still up on the map. I've seen a couple of Vala attempts, mainly with the double support setup behind her though. But there's the Li Ming. Li Ming against the Nubarak, again, is a great pick because Disintegrate burns the Cocoon down. Not vice versa. You don't want to pick a Nubarak into Li Ming. Despite Beetles, yes, it's the other way around. And we get a Brightwing together with that, so you even have some Polymorph coming in so that you can destroy some of the combo. So that's good for them. But yeah, with that, we're getting straight into the next few bans, and you can ban the main tanks out. Varian. Varian together with Brightwing is also annoying. I mean, sometimes you just don't get Stukov, so then you want to have something else that can control CC after a taunt, and that's Brightwing with a Polymorph. Haven't seen a Zarya, honestly, banned or picked in quite some time. It just tells you that Svamgrota hasn't been in a lot of those games. But yeah, the good old Zarya and Garrosh combo has been missing a bit on this one. And, well, last ban. Okay, fair enough. The disrespect right over there. Nah, I guess they just like missed on clicking on something. That's one way how you can deal with that. Dracula reports incoming. Okay, missing that one. Which leaves us with Rexa, more stuns. Yep. Where's the damage? Daddy needs some damage. Okay, we got Jimmy, so potentially the Exterminator. We've seen a lot of slows on the blue team, so technically they can still go into ace in the hole, and we've seen that a bit more on the map. But I still would... It depends a little bit on the last pick, but I still would expect that they're going Exterminator here. It helps you just so much against the objective, and you can just murder the first one in particular, when nobody else is really scaling as hard as Jimmy does there. So, yeah, off we go. Got the last and final double pick. And what's that? Maiev, this time on the side of the red team. Maiev and Diablo. Okay. Dibbles is in. Yeah. I gotta admit that I like it a bit more what we're seeing for Go Next right now. That looks pretty solid here, what they are running. Game number 2, and we got a bit of a change in the draft. We're going to come back to that in a moment, but let's introduce our two teams first. Going next on Battlefield of Eternity with Blade on Anubarak. We have a Starzerk on Alarak, Skynox on Stukov, Kelvin on Reyna, and Wit on Rexa. Over on the right side of the map, Dark Dorita on Brightwing for Stinky Sweaters. We got Camembert on Diablo, Sven on Sonya, Dracula on Li Ming, and Tirith is playing Tychus. And some of you that paid attention during the draft might ask themselves, now wait a second, Tychus? What happened with Maiev? And it's actually pretty easy. So they were locking in a target. They were trying to go for Tychus, but they couldn't switch it around, and they announced it even before the hero was picked, so apparently the lobby was a little bit bugged here, and so it was just agreed on that they would lock in the Maiev and the draft would continue, and then afterwards they would change Maiev for Tychus, and that's exactly what happened. So the rest of the draft is identical. It was communicated early. None of the teams had a problem with it. It was apparently just a lobby bug, and that's all there is to it. So no drama, no problem. And therefore, we have now 2 range damage dealers for the Stinky Sweaters. And I gotta say, that makes a little bit more sense, having the Tychus now in and the range damage against the triple front line too. But here we go. So a lot of action at the bottom. Oh, careful, Diablo. Yeah, that was a Sudoku move from him right away. Moves in a little bit too deep, and that is the end of Dibbles in the first blood in the game. Well done. Now, as we're heading into this, noteworthy that on level 1, Exterminator got locked in. We got the low blow again for Stukov. And the Flare. So, a little bit more vision on the map for Go Next. And they got a little bit lucky, honestly, in game number 1. I mean, there's two parts of it. On one hand, they had a good defense on the core. On the other hand, they got a little bit lucky that the Stinky Sweaters didn't play it a bit more disciplined around the core. They could have won the game here. But as it stands, this is of course an opportunity to lock the 2-0 in and win the game right now. At this point, our top lane is Sonya going up against Rexa, and one of the reasons why Sven locked Sonya in super quickly is because he is more or less a Sonya main, as far as mains exist on that level of play. 1 kill to 0 in the game, heavy aggression around the bot lane. Of course, there's a lot of CC, and especially with Alarak being able to set this up and the follow-up on Stukov, you have so much combo potential that it's really tricky. Now, Blade has to be very, very careful around his burrow charge, as you can see here. If he dives in and then Diablo pushes him in a little bit deeper, that's pretty much the end of the beetle. So, instead, he's going to keep that for a long time, wait for the engage, and then use it as an escape tool, unless they are 100% certain that they can get the kill here. So already, what you can see, we have our level 4 talents that gives us the Behemoth armor, and we got the Chaos Reigns. With the Immortal being announced, it also means that the Shaman camps are taken. Behemoth armor is at this point pretty much the standard, and oh boy, what? Okay. Wit is going into the animal husbandry. Uh-huh. I haven't seen that one in a hot minute. Ever since people figured out how to deal with Rexa, that talent has not existed anymore. At the beginning, when Sir Ice Cream brought Rexa into the meta with Hydra and his boys, that was the standard. And then teams learned how to deal with him, and all of a sudden the talent disappeared and everybody went instead into the globe stacking. Good kill against Sonya. But that is definitely a bit of a change. Now, to be fair, if you go into the Hunter-Gatherer on level 4, it normally takes you a long time to complete the quest on this map, because there's not that many globes around, as you would find on a 3-lane map. That would be awkward. But yeah, halftime show has already been won, so he tries to get some value out of this particular talent pick. That's not too bad. Gets a bit of more initial value. Also, in terms of talents, we got the Charge Blast in, and the bigger they are, and they're starting to chunk them down a little bit, but that first Immortal was taken without any qualms. 2 kills to 0 for Go Next, and they get the first Immortal. They moved in, and they were just not joking around there, and that is a problem here. Oh my god. Sven, no, not like this. The aggressive rotation. Sonya is dead. They were trying to come in and help him out. Now they go for common pair potentially. Could try and force the fight even further. Rexa is at the bottom. Right wing solo defense against the Immortal up at the top lane. But now Jimmy is coming in helping out with it, and of course they got the early level 7. They are level ahead now. That's a brutal one. That is rough. That is very, very rough here topside. They're gonna lose a lot. The shield has at least been destroyed, so that's good for them. But they're still missing Li Ming. She had to go down to the bottom of the map to soak the experience until Sonya was back to business, which means she's very, very late to the defense, and they are gonna get that fort. That's a huge amount of value in the early game. Oh, 4 down, 4.5 minutes into it. Damn. And even Rexa is now rotating up. There's the level 7 talent. And Sonya up at the bottom. So far, quite alone. All the way up towards the top. Seeing still the camping attack. Calamity is, of course, now in for Li Ming, so that's good damage for her. And yeah, that sets us up for a good game for Go Next, and the Stinky Sweaters, after they already lost the first map, now have to fight back into this. A good... that could have been dangerous. A good angle would be worth a lot here. And they nearly got it. It was only the penetrating round of Jimmy that pushed them back in time, or that could have been a perfect Diablo engage. So, yeah, that could have been very, very dangerous and deadly. But the rotations are there, and of course Misha is being used to also grant some additional scouting information for the blue team. Jimmy is the only one at the top, and I guess he's going to take that lane with a lot of caution, because if he is too aggressive, he's dead. And yep, that might just be happening right now. Kelvin Bit too aggressive on the rotation. Grenade and kill. Where is it? Oh, there we go. The kill is in, and they can't do anything about that. Yep, got caught. Red team has to be aggressive. They want to come back into the game, and now they are looking for aggressive positions around the normal travel routes between lanes, and in this case it worked out. Now Nubarak still catches all of the experience, so not much is lost. There is still an experience lead for Go Next, but of course the gap is closing if you can lock in kills like this. 7 stacks now also for the Behemoth armor. Nothing crazy or anything, but at least the hit point pool gets increased a little bit. Another move, and this time they go for Stukov. And they might get the kill here. And they do. Same pattern. They are going into those spaces where you expect heroes to rotate, and they punish them for taking the aggressive paths. Kelvin comes back and nearly dies again, but the level 10 abilities are now in for them. But they are not able to get a kill. They already used the ult, at least on Rexa. And Nubarak is already sitting on the side, stunning out Sven again. But with the next Immortal being up and this now being a 5 versus 5, they are hoping, of course, for the halftime show here. So, there we go. There's a quick move straight in for the stun against Brightwing. Dark Druida, 100 hit points. No chance of escape. No. Eventually he's gonna fall. He can buy some time, but that's about it. Seems like a Nubarak is gonna be the one trying to follow up on that. Yeah. Might need a little bit more damage, honestly, but there's another stun, and there it is. So they get the kill here, but time was bought, and now they're trying to get Immortal damage into. Yeah, Nubarak is back to business. Has still enough mana. Apocalypse. Diablo in trouble. Gets the Cocoon out. And bam. Dibbles down. The Cocoon on Sonya could grant him another kill. First they take Tychus down. And here they make the play for Sonya, who also doesn't stand a chance. Has gone into the Wrath of the Berserker. Not leap. Couldn't therefore even leap out of harm's way. 7 kills to 2. And again they take the halftime show. And Rexa hasn't died yet, so the hit point pool is increasing also for Wit. Good for him. Of course, the Immortal has now changed position, and they're trying to go for the camp. It's still going to be a 5 versus 5. But, yeah, things are starting to become a little bit dirty. As Go Next is just locking in those kills in the team fights with all the CC that they bring to the table. And some serious damage output. I mean, 21,000 for Alarak now. We got 25,000 for Tychus. Yeah, again, the engage on the wall stun. Sven at the bottom, popping the Wrath. They're trying to go for Diablo again. He doesn't have his souls and just doesn't have the hit points, therefore, to do anything here. Even the play for Sven at the bottom now, and that's another kill against Sonya, isn't it? Of course. Alarak is the one to lock it in. 9 kills, 2-2. And the move is straight up for the next Immortal. They're coming in for this one, trying to take it down, trying to push the bot lane even further. The wall is opened up. They're looking for kills. Even Misha is starting to flank in. Stukov is slapping the Immortal around a bit. And together with Rexa, they are now locking this one in. And that's another big shield that they have. It should honestly drop fort number 2 at the bot lane now. And to add insult to injury, there's a level 13 talent now in the hands of Go Next that they can also use to push this even further. I mean, they're already looking to see if they can maybe even grab a kill. It's a super aggressive position that they're taking here. Yeah, Nubarak should probably start to fall away a bit, but everybody else is now shifting down towards the bottom of the map as they're making the play for the fort, and they want to open the wall for the keep too. If you're already that far ahead in your push, you want to get more than that. They go for the stun against Brightwing. They stunned Tychus, or at least they tried to. Didn't quite work out. Cocoon is already gone. The play for the fort is solid. And that's the end of that. And here comes the move towards the bottom wall, the gate. They're trying to take it. They're trying to snowball this game super hard against the Sweaters. They want to go to the next round of the tournament. Diablo down, Brightwing down, kill after kill. Stars are crushing with this Alarak. 25,000 for Jimmy as they take the kill against Sonya. It's a brutal slaughter at the bottom of the map as the keep is obliterated. The keep is down. Go Next is moving through the Stinky Sweater like hot butter through cheese. 1 kill after another, 13-2, and they're trying to end the game right here. It's a quickie, everybody. 11 minutes in, and they want to end the game. There's nobody here to stop them anymore, or is there? 50% on the core. Diablo, he came, he saw, and he died again. Veni, Vidi, BG. down goes Dibbles, and down goes the core. The big combos, the big kills. 14-2, 15-2, 16-2, 70-2 kills, and the end of the game, a 2-0 victory for Go Next in the Rive Cup as they move to the next round of the event.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.